Hello and happy Thursday. That's right, coming to you a day early this week. We got a lot to break down with March Madness, and oh, how sweet it is. The Sweet 16 is going on this weekend, followed by the Elite Eight. We had the TGL Championship, the inaugural championship wrap up this week with a just incredible finish, an incredible 2-day event. We got the Texas Children's Houston Open on the PGA Tour. Rory McIlroy looking for another win on the season, and then some other sports news from around the sports world. Some big signings and some big injuries going on out there. So before we get started, make sure you follow the podcast on any platform, any streaming service, literally anywhere. Get your podcast at Burgers and Brats, and stay up to date with latest news on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Burgers and Brats. And you can watch live on millions.co at Burgers and Brats, and check out the podcast website, burgersbratspodcast.com. Go get that merch for the summer. It's coming up fast. And man, what came up fast, the Sweet 16. What an incredible round 1 and 2 of action we got. I broke that down last week or earlier this week. You can go listen to my recap out there. Before we get started in picking the Houston Open this week, I'll actually be able to make my picks, and you guys can judge how good I am or not based on that. Waking up Thursday instead of me doing it Thursday night. But let's start with the TGL, man. It was incredible. It was a lot of fun. Team Atlanta with Billy Horschel, Justin Thomas, and Patrick Cantley ended up just 1 point wins both nights over Team New York with Xander. Night 1 was really fun. Billy Horschel clutch putt, hammer throw. Atlanta wins 6-5 in that one. It was really a Billy Horschel week. The last Monday and Tuesday, it was Billy Horschel's time to shine. It wasn't that good all year during TGL, but man, he stepped up in the finals. They defeated Xander and Ricky Fowler, and Cameron Young on the New York team. Both matches coming down to the wire. It came down to the one of the final holes on night 2. New York had just been dominating. They were 3-0 after 11 holes on Tuesday night in the second game. It was do or die for them, and they looked like they wanted to extend this to a game 3. And then all of a sudden, Team Atlanta came back. 4th hole, Billy Horschel, putt worth 2 points from 17 feet 10 inches. I mean, that thing was winding. It was a snake going in that hole. He made the putt, threw his putter, threw his hat, got lit. It was super fun to watch the emotions, because you don't ever see that on the tour, and in this indoor league, you kind of get to see it. And the atmosphere has just been incredible. It's been kind of tense, and I mean, it's just electric. You get the vibes going. You got the crowd into it. They're jawing at the players. The players are jawing back. They're pointing at them, shouting at them, talking to them over the microphone, over the PA system. So that's fun to see the fans and players just bantering, going back and forth. And I think that really added to the excitement and the buildup, the stress, the tension, and just made it so much sweeter for Team Atlanta, because there were a lot of New York fans in the TGL SoFi Stadium. They were going at Team Atlanta. A lot of New Yorkers moving down to Florida, I guess. But Billy Horschel made that putt on hole 14. They go up 4-3, and they don't look back. Final hole, Xander versus Patrick Cantley. And Cantley gets up and down for birdie. So they end up winning. Atlanta finishes the season 7-1, just absolute dominant. It really lived up, I mean, and more to expectations. It's a fun thing, kind of come home and watch it on a Monday, Tuesday night when there's, I mean, nothing else going on, no sports at all. I mean, there's a little bit right now, but otherwise, last few weeks, it's been exciting and entertaining. Uh, it's been great watching TGL. It was a great idea, executed greatly, and just so much fun watching these guys not just play on the weekends, but also play during the week and coming home from a big tournament and having having to play in front of fans and the national audience once again. So, and those cool holes, you get to see them hit putts and chip on, turf, but it's right there. It's in-game experience, and just awesome, awesome watching TGL this season. So, TGL over. The inaugural season is done in the books. Team Atlanta defeats Team New York. So, kind of excited for next year. Some other sports news from around the world. The Giants signed Russell Wilson to a 1-year, $21 million contract, $12.5 million guaranteed. That is $21 million overpriced for Russell Wilson. I don't like the move. I don't understand the move. I kind of understand that you don't have a quarterback, but just draft a quarterback. You're going to be a top 5 pick. Draft somebody. Um, what has Russell Wilson done to deserve $21 million? I guess they had a winning record. I guess they got the playoffs, but that's kind of with Mike Tomlin. That team is built solidly around. I think anybody could have led Pittsburgh to the playoffs, and especially when your defense is that good. Yeah, man, Giants fans, you got to be reeling. Breaking news: Giants have already been eliminated from the playoffs in 2025 and 2026. I can call that now. Ridiculous. You're already in a tough division. Russell Wilson is way out of his prime. I just don't understand the signing $21 million for 1 year. He's not even worth $5 million. So, feel bad for you Giants fans. You do have Malik Nabers, so solid wide receiver option, but Dayball is still the head coach, and I think his time should have been up last year. So, we'll see how far this duo can get into 2025. Don't think it'll be very long. Damian Lillard is out for the rest of the year, coming up on just a month away from the playoffs. He has a blood clot in his leg, so that sucks. Hopefully, he can get that fixed. Doctors did say that this will not be a problem again. So, that's another player. Wembanyama had a blood clot this year, so hopefully, he can get that figured out in the NBA. But sucks to see. It sucks for anybody to get this type of not really injury, but just for this to happen to anybody. Luckily, they caught it. The Bucks are 5th in the standings right now. They should stay top 6. They're tied with the Pistons for that 6th spot, but Atlanta is in 7, about 7 games back. So could catch up. Don't really see it with just under a month left. The Bucks are 9-3 without Damian Lillard, and they score 109 points per game without his offensive efficiency. But with him on the court, they score 118 points. So quite a bit of a difference in some ball games there. So we'll see what they can do with him out for the remainder of the season. I think that just shoots their NBA championship value. So I do not see them even making the Eastern Conference Finals now. Elia Chavez, the number 1 ranked recruit in high school out of Lubbock, Texas, committed to the University of Oklahoma to play basketball. So that's a huge pickup for Jenny Bronchek. They are on the verge. They're in the Sweet 16 right now, and on the verge of possibly going to the Elite Eight. Do have to face this UConn women's Huskies team, so that will be tough. But a big pickup for Sooner Nation in women's basketball world. So. And then also staying there, Juju Watkins tore her ACL in her right knee. Just gruesome, painful to watch. Just the leg just snaps and you can just see it. Just it's not fun. Seeing anybody just drop like that, you know something is immediately wrong. And a player of her caliber level, 24 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. The number 1 seed in one of the number 1 seeds in the March Madness tournament. A heck of a player who had a lot of money coming her way. So hopefully she can come back even better, even stronger. Because heck of a player, Juju Watkins. You just hate to see it. They do have number 5 Kansas State. I expect them to even win that game without Juju, but we'll see. Elsewhere in the women's, number 5 Tennessee takes on number 1 Texas. Number 3 Notre Dame versus number 2 TCU. And number 3, Oklahoma versus number 2, UConn. On the other side, number 4 Maryland versus number 1 South Carolina. Number 3, we got North Carolina and Duke in the Sweet 16 on the women's side. Number 3 LSU, number 2 NC State, number 5 Ole Miss, and number 1 UCLA. So Ole Miss, Maryland, Duke, all making it to the women's women's and men's Sweet 16s. On the women's side, all 1, 2, 3 seeds made it to the Sweet 16, and nothing lower than a 5 seed advanced in the women's. So you really do see that most years where these lower teams really don't make it. They just rarely even make it into the round of 32, let alone the Sweet 16. So nothing new there, but it definitely was something new for the men's side that we saw this year. So it's been a lot of entertaining games, some overtime games, some last second shots, some buzzer beaters. It has been really fun on the women's side as well. All right, let's talk a little Texas Children's Houston Open down in, obviously, Houston on the PGA Tour. A $9.5 million purse. You can watch on NBC, ESPN, and the USA Network this week, starting Thursday today. It's a studded field. I mean, you do have some really good players. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy lead the way. Scotty Scheffler, runner-up, missed a 5-foot putt here last year against Steven Yeager. So look to rebound and get his first win of the season this year, and then rebound and get that win. You really don't see miss many putts like that. Get his win on the the Children's Houston Open. So some really good groups going on this week. We got Rory, Maverick McNeely, and Wyndham Clark teeing off at 8:53 a.m. Eastern. You got Scotty Scheffler, Sungjae Im, and Ricky Fowler at 2 p.m. Eastern, and Thomas Dietrich, Steven Yeager, and Tony Finau at 2:14 p.m. Eastern. So some really fun groups golf to watch, especially in that afternoon time slot. The favorites, I mean, obviously you can guess Scotty Scheffler plus 3,300 or 330, Roy at plus 700, Aaron Rai at plus 2,800. So he is the third favorite in this field right now. JJ Spawn, Davis Thompson at 3,300. Jason Day, Sungjae Im, Tony Finau, and Wyndham Clark are all at 30 plus 3,500. Siwoo Kim, Minwoo Lee at plus 4,000. Seth Theegala at plus 5,500. Jake Knapp and Ricky Fowler at plus 10,000. So those are kind of some of the favorites and the big names on this course this weekend. My underrated for the week, I got to go Taylor Pendrith, the Canadian. I mean, he's 13th in greens and hit and regulation. I mean, that's phenomenal with how many guys are on tour and how many great players there are, and for not to have these amount of wins. He's averaging 4 birdies per round right now. I mean, playing lights out. And he got 45 to 1 odds, so plus 4,500. So I think it's a great value for your pick right now for Taylor Pendrith. And then obviously Steven Yeager, who's at 45 to 1 odds as well. He had a top 20 at the Players last week. Also, he's the defending champ. And he had a top 9 finish, or he tied for 9th the year before. So his short game is really good, and expect him to, I mean, still play great in this one that he just won a year ago. I know those players. They love the courses and they love the tournament name. They're gonna come out swinging and balling, especially when you won last year. I mean, that's a lot of motivation and confidence that you have going in, saying, "Hey, I won it last year. I can easily win this again." Another name to look out for: Alex Smalley, 60 to 1 odds on this tournament. He's got in his 6 tournaments this year, he's gotten no worse than a top 21 finish. So I'd look for that. I mean, that's great money right there. Definitely could make a run at something. And then Tevin Moore, I think, is also a great underrated pick as well. My overrated for the week, I mean, I got to go Wyndham Clark. He's world number 11. He's got 0 top 10s this year. and he's 35th in strokes gained so far. So I would stay away from Wyndham Clark. Just the game is not there. I mean, he's that talented where it could just show up randomly. It could come back, at least for this weekend, but I would just stay away from Wyndham Clark. And then I'm going to stay away from Aaron Rai. I mean, third favorite, I'm not going with those odds right now. I would definitely take some of those other names I listed, like JJ Spawn. I would take him uh, over Aaron Rai. He's the third favorite. He's 99th on tour in putting percentage, and he's 115th in scrambling. So uh, I just don't like the value at all for being a top 3 pick. My top 10 locks, I'm going to go, obviously, Rory McIlroy. I mean, easily. It's his first time here, though, in this tournament since 2014. So he's looking for that 2014 magic. And, I mean, he's hot right now. This will be his final tournament till the Masters in 2 weeks. And he's the best golfer in the world right now, without a doubt. Minwoo Lee, I think, is someone who could win this thing. He's got 3 rounds in the 60s this year. He had at Scottsdale, he had at the Cognizant, and he led at the Players at the halfway mark. It was all derailed by just one bad day. So just look out for Minwoo Lee. If he can, he just needs to stay hot. He just gets in his head or something and just goes downhill after one shot. So if he can stay consistent, I definitely think he can make a run. Tony Finau, he's the winner here in 2022. He was the also the runner-up here last year as well. And he seems pretty solid whenever there's not huge names around him. It's always like in that May, June area when some players take off, and you see Tony Finau is, I mean, vying for that trophy at whatever random tournament they're at. So I think this is also a time for Finau to step up and get a top 10 finish. And then JJ Spawn, I mean, so close to the Players. He was one spin away from more likely winning the Players. He has 3 top 3 finishes this year. 3. I mean, that's incredible. He is the top iron player in the field as well. So, I mean, you got to put some money on JJ Spawn. I like him going into this one. And then, of course, Scotty Scheffler is easily a lock. So, that's my underrated, overrated, and top 10 lock for the Texas Children's Houston Open. Let me know who you got winning. All right, let's move into On This Day in History, sponsored by Hefner Eye Care. Hefner Eye Care, located in Oklahoma City, or you can check them out on the web at hefnereyecare.com. And you can try on some new glasses or sunglasses from the comfort of your own home, your own couch. Go onto their virtual try on those new Versace's, Kate Spades, Maui's, Oakley's, whatever you want. Try them on from your own couch. All right, 1891, the first world heavyweight weightlifting championship won by Edward Lawrence in London. 1795, throwing it back on this one, Ludwig van Beethoven, who was 24 at the time, has his debut performance as a pianist in Vienna, Austria. Man, he was doing a lot better things than I was back then. And then 1959, Some Like It Hot, starring Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon premieres. Great movie. Gotta watch it. Happy birthday, Quentin Tarantino, Vince Vaughn, Reba McEntire, and Cy Young on this day in history. Sponsored by Hefner Eye Care. All right, let's go into the Sweet 16. My bracket is phenomenal, guys. I mean, my bracket I put out there with you guys at 96-something%. I've got another bracket at 98%. I mean, I'm cooking. It does help that this has literally been chalk madness. I mean, the better seeds just keep winning. It makes it easy for your bracket. So there are a ton of great brackets out there, but I am at 98%. I only missed 3 teams in the Sweet 16, and one is just stupid. I mean, St. John, really? You're really going to lose? Like, come on, dude. Ridiculous. So that one's really the biggest shock. That has to be the biggest shock right now. So been a great, pretty mundane March Madness. There's been obviously a buzzer beater. We've had some games come down to the final shot, final possession, but overall, nothing like we've seen the last few years where it's just chaos and madness. Not getting like that. All right, let's start with the first game on the slate. Thursday night, 6:09 p.m. Eastern on CBS. What a time. Number 6, BYU versus number 2, Bama. Bama, the 5.5-point favorite. Both teams can score, man. I mean, offense, it's just humming. Bama is number 1 in the country with 90 points per game. BYU averaging 81 points per game. Bama is also the number 1 rebounding team with 46.5 rebounds per game. BYU just behind at 42 rebounds a game, but those 4 extra rebounds, I mean, that's whole double digits, if not more. So uh, just turn those into points. Both teams are top 15 in assists with 17 assists per game. So both teams do love to share the wealth, share the love, and it works phenomenally. Rich Saunders from BYU is averaging 16 points per game, and Igor Dimon 10 points per game, 5 assists. BYU got to have him. Igor's got to have a great game for you guys to have this upset against Bama. So watch him, see what he's doing. If he's playing great, there's a major chance for a BYU victory. Sears for Alabama did not really show up last week, kind of late, but he started 2 for 10. He averages 18 points per game. He needs to have a big game because this BYU team can run them out the gym. A little better, much better competition than what they faced with St. Mary. Grant Nelson as well for Alabama, 8 rebounds per game. Got to be grinding on the rebounds, especially offensively, because BYU, they're one of the highest percent scoring teams in the 2-point land and 3-point percentage. So, got to get offense rebounds because they'll hurt you if if BYU gets a second chance at them. Both teams shooting 48% from the field. It's just coming down to second chance points and which team knocks down their 3-pointers, which team's a little colder or not. I picked Bama. They're a 5.5-point favorite. I picked them to win this game. They're my Elite Eight. But the more I've been looking, I just really like BYU. I like what they're doing. I picked BYU in the Sweet 16. They just looked a lot better. They had a huge win over Wisconsin in the round of 32. Bama just kept it close all game versus St. Mary, and I like the Cougars in this one. I'm going upset. I'm going BYU over Bama. The madness has to start somewhere, right? There has to be some. It has to. So, give me Bama. Or give me BYU over Bama. All right. And then, let's see, which game is next? Thursday, 6:39 p.m. Eastern on TBS. Florida and Maryland. This should be a really, really fun game as well. Number 1, Florida versus number 4, Maryland. Maryland, like I said, won on that buzzer beater this week. So maybe it shouldn't even be them. It should be Colorado State. But that was the march and got them in. Florida, the 1 seed, 6.5-point favorite in this one. Both teams, they capital survived. Florida barely got it. Over UConn. That game was much closer than we kind of thought, but you knew UConn was going to put up a fight because they're the back-to-back champs. Derek Queen, freshman, game winner last week with Maryland. He's averaging 16 points per game and 9 rebounds. So, I mean, this freshman playing like Shaq, playing really good, playing like he's been in college for a while. If he can have a big game, don't let the moment get to him from last week. This team can definitely upset the Florida Gators because they looked really beatable last week. I mean, they're tied at half, I believe, or down just barely. Walter Clanton has to be huge for Florida. 18 points per game. And Alex Condone needs to be physical down low. That's going to be a fun matchup watching Condone and Queen going at it. Both teams shoot 47% from the field. A big disparity is Florida, 45 rebounds a game versus Maryland's 39. Like I just mentioned in the last game, rebounds are going to be huge. Offensive second chance points. Got to get the offense rebounds. Got to get defense because these teams can hurt you. Derek Queen going in, just putting it back, or anybody else on Maryland that can shoot at a high percentage. Because, I mean, they're shooting 47%. Both these teams can shoot and will knock down a second chance bucket. Florida, 18-0 versus non-conference teams. Maryland is a non-con game. Also, Florida is 8-2 versus the top 25. Got to make your free throws, though. This is a big one. Like I said, I think most of these games come down to free throws. It's going to be one-possession games. These teams are so close together. You have to make free throws because that will determine. That is the major determining factors. Look at your team's free throw percentage and take the team usually that is better. May bite my own words on that one in just a second, but Maryland 75% free throw shooter. Florida is a 72% free throw shooter. Now, Condone had some great. I mean, it was clutch. It is a 60-some% free throw shooter. Made pretty much all his free throws in the end in that Florida UConn game. So if they get clutch like that, no biggie. So it just depends which team got their lucky win out of the way. Every team has one in March Madness. The great teams, they go on to win usually when you have that almost buzzer beater loss. So was it Maryland won on buzzer beater or Florida that escaped a really good UConn team? I think Florida is still a better team. They're the SEC team. I thought going in they were the number one overall seed. Them and Duke could have gone back and forth, but one of those teams was the most overall great team. And I think Florida is still that good. I think they just didn't play their potential. They weren't expecting this UConn team to still be that well ran with Hurley. So I'm going Florida in this one, and they beat a much better team than this Maryland team against Colorado State. So all right, and then Thursday, 8:39 p.m. Eastern on CBS, we got number 1 Duke versus number 4 Arizona. Duke a 9.5-point favorite in this one. Duke is playing the best team right now, as the best team. Now, competition hasn't been as good, but they are balling. Cooper Flagg, 19 points per game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, leads the team in literally every single category you can think of. Caleb Love, coming from North Carolina, he's played this Duke team a ton. Play what he's capable of. He's averaging 17 points per game. Got to ball out. He has got to play great. He knows how to beat Duke. Both teams averaged 83 points per game. It's going to be super high scoring. This Arizona team allows 73 points a game. But Duke, on the other side, like I said, this team is so well-rounded. It was an easy choice to pick them as the national champions. They give up 62 points per game. They score 20 points more than what they give up. So, I mean, a bad offensive night, you're still going to win by 10 or just barely under double digits. You're that good overall, all around. It's incredible. It's one of the best teams we've ever seen. Both teams, though, awful at free throw percentage. Arizona shooting 77%, Duke shooting 78%. Arizona, 12 turnovers a game versus Duke's 9. That's huge. I mean, that's 6 fast break buckets on a turnover, maybe a pull-up 3. So that can sway the game immensely and take you out of the game at the end. Arizona, 7-5 versus the top 25. They played in a really good conference, probably the third best conference in the country. Maybe better, third best. Duke, 3-2 versus top 25. Their conference, like we said, has not been good. They have not lived up to anything. Louisville and Clemson got bounced in the first round. Arizona, solid wins in the season. They just only lost to Houston by 8. Duke, though, just so balanced. I mean, Proctor, last week, I think he went 6 of 7 from downtown. It was just incredible. So, this team is so good. And there are 2 wins for Duke. They're plus 60. They're plus 67 in points differential. This team's so good not to pick. Give me Duke over the Wildcats. All right, last game Thursday, 10:09 p.m. Eastern on TBS. Number 3, Texas Tech versus number 10, Arkansas. Arkansas is basically the Cinderella of March Madness. I mean, they are the lowest seed out here. So, Texas Tech a 5.5-point favorite. Arkansas, the only team worse than a 6 seed. That's right. The only team worse than the 6. Incredible. Texas Tech, Grant McCasland, has been a heck of a coach. I mean, he's had some good runs so far. And they've got this guy named JT Toppin. I don't know if you guys heard of him, but he's really, really good. He's got 18 points per game, 9 rebounds. And have you guys heard of his sidekick, Elijah Hawkins, who's also a baller? What a duo this Texas Tech team has. It was surprising. Coach Cal, first Sweet 16 since 2019. So really didn't trust Calipari in the playoffs or in March Madness the last few years. Didn't trust him going into this year. But, I mean, he's shown he's the old Cal. So it's going to be tough to pick against them. I mean, with how good this Arkansas team is playing right now. I mean, the boost of confidence after beating St. John, I mean, I'm sure just shot through the roof. Arkansas is also fourth in the nation with 5.7 blocks per game, while Texas is only averaging 3 blocks a game. Arkansas, although they get the blocks, they turn the ball over at a high rate. 11.5 turnovers per game. That's very bad. Texas Tech, 2 turnovers under 9.5. So, I mean, those fast break points right there, maybe a transition 3, can definitely sway the game. Versus the top 25. Arkansas playing the best conference statistically ever. They went 5-7 versus top 25. Texas Tech played in a really good Big 12. They went 1-4. That's not good. That doesn't. You got to play up to your opponents. Arkansas is though 50th in net rating. Texas Tech is 7th. The more I look, the more I like Arkansas in this one. But man, I gotta go Texas Tech in this one. I don't know. Maybe Arkansas used it all against St. John, but Texas Tech looks really good as well. Give me the Red Raiders in this one. All right, Friday, first game on the slate. Well, I don't have time for that one, but we'll start with number 6, Ole Miss, and number 2, Michigan State. Michigan State a 3.5-point favorite in this one. Ole Miss might be the most underrated team in the tournament as well. I mean, they've just been balling. The Rebels coming really out of nowhere weren't really ranked. No one's talking about them because how good the conference is, anyways. They got through some good teams. If I can pull it up real quick, there's so many games that happen. I mean, they beat number 3 Iowa State. Thought Iowa State was definitely a Sweet 16 team. They get through Iowa State. They dominate Iowa State. They look really good doing it. Mission. Sean Padula for Ole Miss. 15 points per game, 4 assists. Playing really good lights out ball. Tom Izzo, though, on the other side, Michigan State. That man can coach. That man, they had an underrated season last year. They went on a deep run the last few years. And when it gets March, Tom Izzo knows what he is doing. It's hard to pick against him in March Madness. Big thing to look at, though, Ole Miss, 73% free throw shooting. This game is going to be a one-possession game. You got to make your free throws. Look at that in the final few minutes. Michigan State, 43 rebounds per game compared to 36 for Ole Miss. Like I'm saying, that's huge. That's a couple buckets extra that goes Michigan State's way. I mean, whether it be 2s or 3s, lead to fast break, or just easy putbacks, kick out 3. That is going to sway the game. Mississippi, though, 9 steals a game versus only 5 from Michigan State. So got to take care of the ball if you're the Spartans. Mississippi also only 9 turnovers compared to 12 for Michigan State. So we're looking more like this. I mean, the more you like Mississippi's chances to get some easy buckets when it's late and picking steals, get to the bucket, easy transition, sway the game, sway the momentum of the game, get the crowd back in it. Michigan State, though, 8-2 versus top 25. Ole Miss 4-9. So, looking at how they play their equal opponents, I'm going to take the Spartans in this one. I think they're still a little bit better of a team. I think Ole Miss is kind of on a Cinderella run, but really like what they did. But give me Michigan State in this one. Friday, 6:39 p.m. Eastern, TBS. Number 3 Kentucky versus number 2 Tennessee. Tennessee a 4.5-point favorite in this one. Looking at the spread, who these two teams played twice this season. Who do you think won those games? Tennessee, a 4.5 point favorite. You're right. Kentucky won both games versus Tennessee this season. Both, though, under single digits. One a 5 point win and one a 9 point win for Kentucky. Uh, both underrated dominant wins in March Madness. Kentucky kind of dominated Illinois. Tennessee dominated UCLA, which was a really solid team. Kentucky has 6 guys averaging double figures. That's incredible sharing the ball. So I mean, really, they're not relying on one guy to just ball out. They've got 6 dudes that can play. 6 of them. Uh, and that's what you need in March Madness: sharing the ball, getting guys involved who are hot. It's the hot hand, or in this case, the hot hands. 70% of Kentucky's buckets are assisted on in the tournament. That's incredible ball play. Tennessee, though, a top 10 defensive team, they're only giving up 62 points per game, while Kentucky is giving up 77. Yikes. That's a big disparity. Huge. But Kentucky is 6th overall with 85 points per game, so it doesn't matter when you score that much. In Tennessee, 74 points per game on that side. Kentucky shooting 48% from the field while getting 42 rebounds. It's just so hard to beat a team 3 times, no matter football, basketball. It's literally impossible. You always have to go with the team that lost those previous 2 matchups. But I did mention Rick Barnes' March Madness record as blunders in March Madness. And it's like, how can you pick? It's got to happen sometime. It's got to happen to a team you lost to twice, right? Give me the Vols. Give me Tennessee over Kentucky in this one. But I can definitely see Kentucky winning. Obviously, they've already done it twice. So, all right. Friday, 8:39 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Number 5 Michigan versus number 1 Auburn. Sneaky underrated game. I don't know if sneaky, but gonna be a really good game. Auburn 8.5 point favorite in this one. Gonna be a dogfight. And they were both in dogfights till the end in the round of 32. Both teams had to battle out. Michigan playing Texas A&M. So, and Auburn playing Creighton. Creighton's a good team as well. Jay Broom leads everything for Auburn. 19 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. This Auburn team is also top 10 in offense, scoring 84 points per game and only allowing 69 points. Man, that is nice to score 15 more points than you allow. It gives you a ability to have an off night, miss some threes, and still be okay. Auburn, 6 blocks per game. That is second in the nation. 6. I mean, that's easy buckets. That's 12 buckets. That's 12 points right there that you don't allow. They also 9 turnovers a game. That's 7th in the nation, so pretty low there. Michigan, though, they might be the hottest team in the country. They've beaten Purdue, Maryland, Wisconsin, UC San Diego, and A&M. 5 teams, those 5 teams in a row to get to this point. So, and has been really fun watching this team just play so many games. It was like 5 games in 9 days. So I know they are tired. This Michigan team can also win scoring either 91 points or 59 points. They can do it both ways. So look for that. Auburn, very high-powered, very solid on the defensive side. Michigan is so hot at the right time. So it all depends on that. Who's hot right now? I mean, 6 games and now it'll be 13 days or so. So have a little bit more rest, but I mean they're still going to be tired. They got to go against the number 1 overall seed, the number 1 team in the country, like all year. I think the luck runs out for the Wolverines, but I will not be surprised if they get a win over Auburn. Give me Auburn over Michigan, but this game is going to come down to the final possession. And then the final game of the Sweet 16, Friday, 9:09 p.m. Eastern on TBS. Number 4 Purdue versus number 1 Houston. This game would have been absolutely incredible last year. 2 1 seeds. Sure they played last year, but going to be really good this year as well. Purdue, I really didn't think they had it in them. They lost 6 of their last 9 games going into March Madness, and they're on a heater right now. Houston 9-point favorite in this one. Trey Wren 20 points per game, 6.5 rebounds. Houston. And talk about defense teams. There's no defensive team like Kelton Sampson and Houston. They are number one in the country, only allowing 58.4 points per game, and they're getting 40 rebounds a game as well. Houston, they slow it down, so they limit the turnovers. There's only 9 turnovers per game. They don't give the other teams chances to really get fast break buckets and steals. Both teams, though, 74% from the free throw line. Purdue, got to knock shots. Got to knock your shots down. They're top 15 in field goal percentage. That's 49%. Tyler Wren, like I mentioned, for Purdue, baller, can make some buckets, but got to be hot. And he's shooting 49%. I mean, you're really not going to have an off night because, I mean, you're going to be shooting 40%, and that's still going to be pretty good in March Madness where teams don't know how to play basketball, don't know how. It's gonna be different teams, so you got to get familiar with your opponent for a half where you're shooting 10%. So shooting 49%, you're in really good hands. Houston, I think just this team's been there so many years before. Kelvin Sampson's been there so many years before. They're so dominant. The experience. Give me Houston in this one over Purdue. So in the Elite Eight, I'll go Auburn over Michigan State, Florida over Texas Tech, Duke over BYU, and Houston over Tennessee. So that will be those Final Four teams. So going to be a lot of fun. We'll know our Final Four after this weekend. Man, that's going to be absolutely electric. I mean, we're going to get the best teams in college basketball because there's no random UC San Diego teams or Farley Dickerson or Oakland teams in the Sweet 16 right now, and it's going to be really good basketball. No, not like what was that 2022 FAU, San Diego State, Miami. I can't remember the 4th team, but that's going to be really, really good ball. So, all right, let me know who you guys have winning Sweet 16 and Elite 8. Let's go into the final segment, who I'm sharing my burger and brat with. Share my burger and brat with ibuprofen. So, over-the-counter painkillers like ibuprofen can speed up the recovery from concussions. Patients with a concussion who took ibuprofen recovered 20% faster than those who didn't. Scientists from the University of Washington have discovered. The study's author, Kyle Arnold, studied athletes and military cadets in this one with 1,660 patients. With 813 took over-the-counter relievers, including oh my gosh, ibuprofen, or other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, while 848 took nothing, air. People who took the pain relievers were 20% more likely to return to unrestricted activities faster than those who didn't take any. Man, ibuprofen for the win. Those who took the medications were cleared at 50% recovery and averaged 2 days faster, and they were at 90% recovery 7 days faster than those who did not take the medicine. And they also returned 15% more likely not to have symptoms. So ibuprofen, put that thing in the NFL. Put it everywhere. So get a concussion, you will return a lot faster and a lot healthier if you take ibuprofen. So I'm sharing my burger and brat with letting you guys know. All right, everyone, thank you all for listening. Let me know who you guys have in the Houston Open and in the Sweet 16, men's and women's. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you follow the podcast on any platform, any streaming service, literally anywhere. Each podcast at Burgers and Brats. Stay up to date with latest news on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Burgers and Brats. Hopefully, you just watch live on millions.co and check out the podcast website, burgersbratspodcast.com. Thank you all for listening. Take care. Stay safe.